Welcome back to lesson number 6. The cartoon, the little boy looking up at the vast sky and screaming, "I am significant." And that is the point of this lesson. You and I are significant. And that makes us very, very valuable. Our biblical faith affects today, it affects the physical and spiritual realm. Presently, right now, we have an effect on the physical and spiritual realm. In the physical realm, of course, living by biblical faith will affect everybody we come in contact with and everybody that they will come in contact with. Excuse me, I'm tripping over myself this morning. It even affects the earth, the animals, and the plants. A good summary verse for all this is Hosea, Hosea, in the Old Testament. It's the first of the minor prophets. Minor only because of the length of the book. But in Hosea chapter 4, verses 1 through 4, it reveals that there is no morality, murder and swearing and theft, because there's no knowledge of God. And it says even the earth and the animals and the plants all mourn because there's no knowledge of God. We look at our environment today and how it's deteriorating throughout the entire world. That is a scream from creation that we have left our God. Creation, this earth, the plants, the animals, the seas, the fish, the birds, everything is screaming at us, we have left our God. So biblical faith affects everything. It affects even in the spiritual realm. It says there is joy in heaven when one sinner repents. When we are obedient, God is not ashamed to be called our God. That's Hebrews 11. Well, that's all in the notes. And I hope by now you've realized that these videos are about 20% of the information. The other 80% is in the notes. This just gives you a skeletal outline that you can keep in mind while going through the notes. So our daily life of biblical faith affects even God in his realm, and it especially affects Satan in his realm. Satan in his realm, they're not happy to see us living by biblical faith and growing in maturity, growing in godly character. Not happy at all. And one of the reasons for that is our biblical faith will have an impact on eternity. Remember how Satan rebelled against God, took 1/3 of the angels with him? 1/3 of God's workforce went with Satan's. Angels were created to carry out God's will and to make sure that his creation ran properly, just as humans on this earth we were placed here to make sure everything ran properly. Well, how's that going for us? All right, well, anyway, it's very clear that if we endure, we will reign with him. Now, that's not a salvation verse. That's a rewards verse. That's 2 Timothy 2:12. And if we will endure, we will reign. If we endure, I'm moving a little fast, I guess. But our godly maturity will place us in positions of rulership. Now let's think about that for just about 2 seconds. Satan and 1/3 of the angels left God's workforce in eternity past, and we are being prepared for God's workforce in eternity future. Gee, I wonder if there's any correlation between Satan's rebellion and our being placed in positions of rulership. Obviously there is. So that's lesson number 6. Living by godly faith, by godly biblical faith, I should say, every day, every moment, it affects everything. Everything. right now. You've heard of the butterfly effect? Well, that's now an established law. That is actually recognized as true. Well, the butterfly effect, when compared to living a life of biblical faith, is astronomically important. There is nothing more important, as a matter of fact. Learning God's Word, living by His Word, loving God, enjoying Him forevermore. I mean, my goodness. How our value system seems to have slipped in this day and age. Yep. Oh, I'm sorry, just almost brought out a soapbox. I apologize. But that's lesson number 6. Look forward to seeing you in lesson number 7. Be blessed. Have a blessed day. And look forward to seeing you in lesson number 7. Another very important lesson. Thank you again. Don't forget to look at those notes. Be blessed. I'm starting to ramble. All right. Be blessed.